Hi, thanks for joining me at my Iowa Prairie Girl YouTube channel. I am the Iowa Prairie Girl, and I'm coming to you today from my front ditch. I live in Saragota County in north central Iowa, and I want to talk to you today about motherwort. Now, motherwort is an invasive, non-native plant that grows here in North America. It's been in North America for several centuries now. It originated from Asia or from Europe, and it was brought over for its medicinal purposes, and it's just spread throughout the whole North America. You can find it in a lot of disturbed places, such as ditches, that's where I am right now, roadsides. I find it along my well house and around the barn. I've seen it along the edges of cemeteries. It likes kind of shady places, so along the edges of a woodland trail. I've seen it almost everywhere. So it's in the mint family. And like I said, it is invasive, but I kind of enjoy the plant, and it has medicinal purposes, and a lot of people keep it around for that, for those things. So if you stick around, we'll take a look at motherwort, and we'll learn how to identify it and look at maybe what other people use it for. So please stay tuned. Like I mentioned, motherwort is in the mint family, and being in the mint family, that means one way to identify a mint is to look at the stem, and the stem is a square. So if you want one characteristic of motherwort is to look at the stem, and you'll see that it has a square stem. Another characteristic to look for on motherwort is the leaves. Now it's interesting, the leaves vary as they go up the plant. So on the bottom you have larger leaves, and they are palmated. They're kind of lobed. The edges are toothed. But as they go up the plant, the leaves get smaller, which is normal for most wildflowers. But they become, the lobing, or how many lobes they have, starts to vary. I can't see it so much there. But they actually become, this one only has 3. So you can just tell the leaves, this one kind of looks like a maple leaf, and then you get up here and you just have this little leaf here. So they start to change as they go up the stem. The one characteristic that they have that are all the same is they kind of have a wedged bottom. The other thing about motherwort that I find interesting is the calyx. The calyx is where the flower has come out from. The flowers, okay, first off, back to the leaves, they are opposite of each other. They grow opposite of each other on the stem. And then around the stem, at the axil of the leaves, is where the flowers come. And so they whorl, they circle around the stem. And when they're all done, the calyx is very prominent after the flowers are done blooming, and it's real prickly. So the flower itself, like I said, grows in a circle around the stem, and the flower itself is a, ouch, they are very prickly. The flower itself is a light lavender to purple to light pink little two-lipped flower. So these lavender flowers here, as I mentioned, they go around the stem, and they have 2 lips. The upper lip kind of is undivided and it sticks out. The lower lip is divided into 2 separate lips. And then they also have these kind of cool, you have to look really close, dark purple polka dots on them. They have 4 stamens, and those are hard to see too. You kind of have to zoom in on once you take a picture. They have 4 stamens, 2 that are shorter and 2 that are longer, and those are a dark purple color as well, kind of matching those polka dots that are on the leaves. two other characteristics about the plant that you can look for. The flower is a very hairy flower. It's got a lot of little white hairs on it, and so it looks really fuzzy. And the other thing is on the leaf, the top part of the leaf is a dark color, kind of a dark light green, a darker green, and then as you turn it over, the backside of the leaf is a pale color. I want to mention that the leaf itself also has a very long petiole, or a long stem to the leaf. So they come off of the square stem of the plant, and then they stick out quite a bit of ways from the stem with their long stalk or petiole, whatever you want to call it. They stick quite a ways off of the main stem. The flowers, like I said, are whorled around the stem, and they have no stem themselves to the flower. The flower has no fragrance. The plant itself really has no fragrance from the flower, but the leaves are kind of odorous and are really kind of bitter, and cattle really don't like them. Let me see. Yeah, they don't really smell that great. So it's the leaves that are kind of odorous, and they're really kind of bitter tasting, and so cattle leave this plant alone. Okay, why is it called motherwort? So wort is a common English word for plant, so that's where the wart part comes in. And then mother comes in because this plant has been used for centuries for female reproductive dysfunctions. So it's been used for like PMS, for menstrual cycle problems, postpartum depression, those types of things. Again, please don't use my videos for any reason to start using a plant for medicinal purposes. And one thing I have heard very strongly is you do not take this plant, motherwort, if you are pregnant. It also is used for anxiety, again for, like I mentioned, the postpartum or for PMS. But it also can have a very calming effect, even if you're not having those types of problems. It's also used for anxiety. And it also has some heart values to it as well. It is used for some dysrhythmias and those types of things. So a lot of people use motherwort if they're into herbs. They use it for anxiety or just for its calming effect. Motherwort is an antioxidant, so that ups its value in the herbal field. It also, in case you really need to know, has been used to ward off evil spirits. However, I couldn't find how you used it, whether you dried it and hung it or if you ate it, or I don't know, but I did read that it was used for ward off evil spirits. All right, so this is motherwort. As I mentioned, you can find it in a lot of disturbed places, along the edges of fields, along pastures, along stream beds. It does like shady places. It blooms mostly here in North Iowa. It starts blooming in June and goes through August. All right, well, that's what I know about motherwort. It does grow to be about 2 to 4 feet tall. You're going to find it in those disturbed places, along fence rows, along riverbeds, ditches. It does like shade. I leave it here in my ditch. I've been trying to grow wildflowers in my ditch here. The one weed I do pull out is ragweed, but otherwise I leave my motherwort, especially if it grows in a spot that I need it to be in. I also have this other invasive plant here, creeping harebell. It doesn't really seem to take over too much, so I kind of grow that if it's in the right spot. I guess it's up to you. I don't hear about parties of going out to pull motherwort like you do with the invasive garlic. So I guess it's up to you. I enjoy it. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and thanks for sticking around. I hope now that when you're out for a walk, you'll be able to identify motherwort and show others about this unique plant. All right, thanks for staying tuned, and I hope that you get out and see the wonderful.